Rain streaked down the restaurant windows in chaotic patterns, blurring the neon lights of the city into hazy reflections. The air inside was warm, fragrant with the scent of grilled rosemary chicken and freshly baked bread, but the loneliness that hung over the corner booth was colder than the storm outside. She sat there, impeccably dressed in a tailored navy blazer and sleek heels, her blonde hair falling in perfect waves over her shoulders, yet her eyes betrayed a fatigue that no amount of success could mask. Her empire of skyscrapers, stocks, and boardrooms had not prepared her for the empty space across from her, the silence of a dinner table meant for two. She checked her watch for the third time. He was late. Or worse, he wouldn't come at all. At that very moment, a single dad walked into the same restaurant, a man whose life had been carved from struggle rather than privilege. Mud-stained sneakers peeked from under his worn jeans, his hands still faintly smudged with grease from the car he had spent hours repairing for a family in need. His little girl skipped ahead, her laughter light and unassuming, unaware of the weight her father carried in his heart. They had come for a small celebratory dinner, his daughter's first piano recital, but fate had other plans. The table they had reserved had vanished in a mix-up, leaving them awkwardly scanning the room for a place to sit. As he wandered through the tables, his eyes caught hers. And for a moment, the world shrank. Two strangers, sitting alone in the same restaurant, each carrying wounds invisible to anyone else. She looked up, startled, expecting him to pass by without notice. Instead, he paused, offering a small, weary smile, and whispered across the distance, "Your blind date didn't show up either." It was a line that could have been lifted from a rom-com, but here, in the glow of flickering candlelight and the murmur of conversation, it carried the weight of something far deeper, a shared understanding of disappointment, of life refusing to bend to anyone's plans. The billionaire CEO felt a flutter of something she hadn't allowed herself to feel in years, relief. She returned the smile, hesitant at first, unsure if strangers were meant to notice the silent cracks in someone else's world. That simple acknowledgement was the spark that ignited a night neither of them would forget. He invited her to share their corner table, and she, after a fleeting hesitation, agreed. The barriers built by wealth and hardship fell away with every exchanged story. He spoke of sleepless nights, balancing shifts at the garage and bedtime stories for his little girl, the exhaustion etched into his features softened by the warmth in his words. She spoke of boardroom battles, lonely penthouse nights, and the relentless expectation to appear untouchable. They laughed at their misfortune, yet in that laughter was a balm neither had known they needed. As the night deepened, their conversation grew tender. The girl, sensing her father's unusual lightness, edged closer to the CEO, curiosity mingled with childlike intuition. When she reached out for her hand, the CEO didn't recoil. Instead, she held it, a silent bridge forming between the orphaned corners of her heart and the little girl's innocent warmth. She realized, in that quiet gesture, that the world she had built was empty without human connection. And for him, witnessing his daughter's laughter reach her, he felt a flicker of hope that life could offer more than endless struggle. But the night wasn't without its challenges. As dessert was served, a storm of doubts threatened to dismantle the fragile trust forming between them. She worried that their worlds were too different, that he could never understand the pressures she carried. He worried that she would see the hardships of his life as failures, a burden he could not afford to share. Yet something inside them refused to retreat. They stayed, talking, listening, letting their vulnerabilities spill into the flickering candlelight. Hours passed like minutes, and when the restaurant finally dimmed its lights to signal closing, they lingered. Neither wanted to break the fragile magic that had wrapped around their table. As they walked out into the rain-soaked streets, umbrellas held over heads, she realized that connection did not care about wealth or circumstance. He realized that kindness could open doors even in hearts long hardened by life's disappointments. In the weeks that followed, their paths intertwined more deeply. Simple acts, a text to check in, a shared coffee, a stolen afternoon in the park, wove a tapestry of trust and quiet joy. His daughter began to see her as a part of their lives, and she found herself dreaming not of boardrooms and quarterly profits, but of ordinary moments filled with laughter, warmth, and unexpected love. The billionaire learned that wealth could buy many things, but it could not buy authenticity, or the gentle resilience of a man who gave everything for the ones he loved. And he, who had survived hardship with nothing but hope and perseverance, discovered that kindness could be returned in ways more profound than he had imagined. Their story, born from two lonely souls missing someone who never arrived, became a testament to the power of empathy, vulnerability, and the courage to take emotional risks. They were proof that sometimes, the best connections come not from calculated meetings, but from raw honesty and shared humanity. If you believe in kindness and second chances, if you've ever felt that life's disappointments were simply making room for something greater, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, Soul Tale. Your support helps more stories like this reach hearts waiting to be touched. Months later, as they sat together in the same restaurant where their worlds collided, the girl giggled over a shared dessert, and the CEO rested her head on the father's shoulder. He whispered something she didn't hear, but the tenderness in his voice said it all. They had found not just companionship, but a family built not on wealth, status, or circumstance, but on love, resilience, and the courage to trust again. If this story touched your heart, let us know in the comments below. Share your thoughts, your hopes, your own experiences with second chances. And if you felt a spark of inspiration, engage with this video, like, share, and subscribe. Stories like this remind us that even in the loneliest moments, life has a way of surprising us when we least expect it.